Hi everyone. Okay, here we go. I'm wearing my red in honor of Mars getting ready to retrograde. I've got my moonstone on to calm myself down. Here we go. So, June 26th starts the crazy season right before all the eclipse. We are going to have our first eclipse at the beginning of July in Gemini. So this eclipse is going to give us a little bit of a heads up for when Gemini and Sagittarius are on the hot seat with the eclipse patterns. So it's just a partial, it's nothing big, but you are going to get a little flavor of where we're going with it. After that, we're going to have the big Cancer lunar total eclipse. Yes, total eclipse of the moon. Emotions that we're starting to feel in the US. I don't know about the other countries. I just know the emotions are coming out. The nurturing Cancer emotions of children, of mothers, of women, of people who don't feel like they fit in, it's all coming to a head. What are we going to do? The US is coming to a transition mark, but this is going to be the gateway to get there. First, we have Mars causing havoc, as it is stationary retrograde this week, getting ready to turn backwards, move backwards. Stationary means that this is the week you're really going to feel the energy of the aggression of your intellect really being sharp. But for a lot of people who have a very strong Mars in their chart, such as being in Capricorn, where it's going to retrograde, or being in Aries, or perhaps being in Scorpio, you need to watch your step, because it could cause you to really turn inward and implode or just have some really passive aggressive moments with people. So I just wanted to do a quick list. I'm seeing, people in traffic doing some crazy things. I don't want people to get caught up in road rage or anything like that. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up how it works. So Mars has an aspect of first itself. So 1, its opposite sign, 7, and a 4 and an 8. So 1, 4, 7, 8 aspect. Wherever Capricorn is sitting in your chart, you can expect some information, some events, some upset people, friends, family, whatever it may be. You're probably going to experience something that's going to go on. And if you've got some planets sitting in Capricorn, look out. So let's start with Capricorn first. We're going to talk about the 1st, the 4th, and the 7th house. So first, before we do all that, I wanted to give you an explanation of the houses. So the 1st house is yourself. It's who you are when you were born. And then the 2nd house talks about how you speak. So after you were born and you were aware of your body and you started to realize the world revolved around you, you went on to learn how to talk and tell everybody, no, you don't want to do that. From there, you developed your communication to be able to tell off your siblings and yell and get them in trouble. That's the 3rd house. That has to do with communication, siblings. And then the 4th house has to do with the nurturing mom or the not so nurturing mom. Depends on how your 4th house was made up. The 4th house can also be your fundamental learning. The very first things you learn from your mother are developed from how that 4th house is set up. Then we're going to go to the 5th house, where 5th house generally stands for your creativity. It could stand for some education. It could also stand for romance. So from there, we're going to go on to the 6th house, where it's all about being healthy. It's all about pets. It could be about disease, and it could be about people who are out to get you. You can look at that house and kind of see how that's going to happen or when that will be triggered. The 7th house is all about it's the opposite sign of the 1st house, your rising sign. So this is generally your partner, or it could be a business partner. But however this looks, it's a mirroring effect. So the 1st house and the 7th house are an axis of some sort of activity. If it's the 1st, like as an Aries and Libra, it's the axis of relationships. So we'll get into the signs on another video, but I just wanted to go over the houses so that you'll understand how this retrograde Mars, who is joining retrograde Jupiter, retrograde Saturn, retrograde Neptune, and retrograde Pluto. So all of these retrograde planets are halting a lot of activity in your life and causing you to stop and review and make some corrections before it goes forward, before all of them go forward. Mercury will soon be joining it, and the nodes kind of go through what we call retrograde when they go through the eclipse. So after the eclipse, they won't move for a while. They'll just kind of stay on that degree for a while. So if you're the lucky person that's going to have the eclipse of Cancer on your degree, look out. You got some changes coming in your life. So let's move on to the 8th house. 8th house has all to do with taxes, death, other people's money, judgments, and also your in-laws. This is where all the secrets take place in your intimate relationship. After you got married from the 7th house, you brought all that into the 8th house. And if you're nice, you don't air out all your dirty laundry. So you keep it secret. In the 9th house, you'll generally see that as foreign people. You'll see that as a higher education, a degree, those type of things, philosophy. And you'll also see that as a place where you might do long distance travel. So from there, we go to the 10th house, and the 10th house is generally seen as your career. And you will also notice that you will have, if you're not having a job, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, it's the way people look up to you. So how people are viewing you, if you're retired, this is how they're viewing you, is by the 10th house. So from there, we go to the 11th house, where we will have social network and friends. From the 11th house, and 11th house, I might add, is your desires. So how you desire, and from your career, you go on to make money is because you're desiring that from the 10th house. You bring it to the 11th house, and then you create how you're going to do all these things. Those are all your desires. From the 11th house, we're going to go to the 12th and final house. This is your subconscious, your dreams. This could also be endings. This could be confinement, as in hospital, jails, prison. And this will also be where you let things go, the final resting place before everything's all said and done. It's a little bit different than the 8th house, but this is a house that has losses, as the 8th house is the house of secrets. And it's also the house of taboos, and also where you will find the occult. That's where you're going to find the 8th house. It's different than the 12th house. So some people get those two houses confused. But okay, so now that you understand the houses, let's go on and see where Mars may be disrupting your time